Hello, good afternoon. Olha que só maravilhoso esse daqui de hoje. Quente pra... Alright, so now we're going to start our class lesson 213. Alright, it's book 4. I forget sometimes, alright? Book 4, MindSet. Alright, so you that are watching this video are properly studying this book, probably. Alright, so let's start here. We're gonna start by the verbs and then we go to the vocabulary. Alright, so let's start with me. I think you already know all these verbs and most of the vocabulary probably, but we're gonna try to work with this afternoon. Alright, so please repeat after me. Murder, murdered, assault, assaulted, intimidate, intimidated, suppress, suppressed, bully, and bullied. The first one you already know, yes? Probably. I'm saying probably because you guys are book 4, so it's supposed. Yeah, okay, let's go. So murder is when you kind of kill somebody. Yeah, you can say that someone was murdered by another person. Alright, so a murderer is a person that murders someone. Alright, my question with this is I don't know what to ask with this. My mind's not working, but okay, have you ever thought about murdering somebody? Have you ever thought about murdering somebody? Probably yes. Eu acho que muita gente já pensou nisso. Muita. Ixi. Às vezes a pessoa te faz passar por uma raiva do cacete. Uma raiva grande, tamanha, e você tem vontade, mas é só naquele momento ali, claro, né? Mas já passou pela tua mente? In mine, yes, when I was a teenager, not after I grew up. Okay, second one is assault. Assault is used when someone is gonna rob another person and then he uses a gun for that. All right, so you can say that your husband or your mom or someone you know has been assaulted. All right, my question is, has someone ever assaulted you? Has someone ever assaulted you? Number 3, intimidate. Intimidate is a verb that describes that you use your strength or something you know about the person or your position to intimidate the person. Usually you're gonna try to choke the person, alright? You're gonna try choke him or her back. Okay, so you're gonna intimidate. My question is, has your boss ever intimidated you? Has your boss ever intimidated you? Number 4 is suppress. Suppress is a verb used when you put your strength towards something and then you make this feel like smaller and smaller and smaller. So you are suppressing this, alright? Question with suppress is, have you ever had to suppress a broken heart pain? Have you ever had to suppress a broken heart pain? And my question, yes, I have. Next one, number 5 is bully. Bully is used when you talk bad about someone, you use their mistakes and you spread them in public. You try to suppress the person, to intimidate the person. You lie about someone related to something the person has or the person doesn't have. So usually we have like a lot of kind of bullying, so you need to identify which one you are talking about. Like, we can do this in various ways, and sometimes we don't even realize when we do that. I have practiced bullying in my life. Yeah, of course I have done that. I think everyone has done that. Sometimes we don't even realize what we're doing. We just do, and in our mind we think it's a simple joke. But if it's hurting the person, if it's intimidating the person, if it's making the person feels bad because of that, it's not a simple joke, it's bullying, right? So we have to pay attention to that. My question is, have you ever bullied someone? Have you ever bullied someone? Or if you haven't, have you ever suffered from bullying? Have you ever suffered from bullying? All right, so here we have some structures, and I'm gonna teach you on how to use them. All right, here we have, I shouldn't have murdered. You shouldn't, it's the verb, the modal verb should plus not plus have plus the verb in the participle. It's related to something you regret having done or not having done. All right, so usually when we say I should have, I could have, we are talking about something we regret. We should have done in the past, but we haven't done it. Or we should have done, but we didn't do. All right, so usually it's you regret. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna use in some examples. I think it's easier for you guys to understand. Number one, I shouldn't have murdered. It means that I murdered someone, I killed someone, and I regret for that. Because it might be because I'm going to jail now. It might be because I feel sorry for that. It might be because I feel sorry for the family, for their loss. So I'm regretting something that I did in the past. Okay, so I shouldn't have murdered him just because he didn't pay everything he owed me. All right. Number two, you shouldn't have assaulted. You shouldn't have assaulted her like that, using, I don't know, it's just a sentence. You shouldn't have assaulted her like that, so furious, or killing. Sometimes you assault and then you also kill the person, which in Portuguese we call it latrocínio. Okay, now next one. All is yellow, but only shouldn't have is yellow, right? Don't worry. So he shouldn't have intimidated. He shouldn't have intimidated him because we can't do that with anyone. Okay. Number four, we shouldn't have suppressed. We shouldn't have suppressed our feelings like that. We should have, I don't know, showed them. Number five, they shouldn't have bullied. They shouldn't have bullied her just because she's a little bit fat or chubby. All right. Now, next part. I hadn't murdered, you hadn't assaulted. This is related to the simple past, no, to the past perfect, all right? It's something usually you did in the past and it's before another event. So, an example, you say, I hadn't murdered him before the party. I did that after the party. An example. Okay, you hadn't assaulted her before midnight because at midnight she was home. She was not in the streets. Okay, so you use as the example to make the others, like he hadn't intimidated, we hadn't suppressed, and they hadn't bullied. Okay, so let's skip to the good part, the vocabulary, or not, depends on you. Okay, let's go. So first of all, we're gonna work on the pronunciation, and after we work word by word. All right, so some of them are similar, like brutality and cruelty. Yeah, they are similar. Yeah, sometimes we use them as synonyms, but let's try to work one by one. But first of all, pronunciation. Let's go. Brutality, cruelty, disturb, compulsion, disturbance, fighting, rampage, confusion, clash, outrage. I think this word is so beautiful. This is a new trash. Okay, rage, annoyance, fury, hatred, violence, arson, suppression, blow up, tantrum, rape, shocking, tension, shock, restraint, threat, threaten, bullying, intimidation, and riot. Okay, first one, brutality. Brutality is when you do something very truculent. You use your strength in order to make someone suffer from something you thought the person did or the person did, and then you're trying to punish this person. That's brutality. Like he killed her with brutality. It means that he didn't simply kill her. Like he didn't kill her in a good way. Like he didn't just shot her. He did it with brutality. Like he slapped her. He threw her on the ground. I don't know. He did something bad to her. I'm using he, but it can be she as well. All right. So, my question with brutality is, I don't know what to ask. I don't have ideas to ask. Brutality. Oh, do you get angry when someone wakes you up with brutality? Do you get angry when someone wakes you up with brutality? Yeah, my sister does that to me sometimes. And I would have cruelty. Cruelty is like when you do something that is cruel. An example, you get a knife and then you stab the person. Alright, so that's a kind of cruel thing. Or you, I don't know, you put the person, you get a rope. No, you get a rope. Sorry, rape is another thing. You get a rope and then you involve this person in a rope and then you throw this person into the water. That's something cruel. You act with cruelty because you're going to make the person suffer much more than necessary. Brutality. Okay? My question with cruelty, I'm going to ask with cruel. Describe a cruel crime for you. In your point of view, describe a cruel crime. Next, disturb. Disturb is when you start annoying another person. Imagine that the person is sleeping and then you start disturbing the person, like knocking on the door or just calling the person out. Alright, so that's disturbing. Usually when you go to hotels, there is a board on the table that says do not disturb. It means like don't knock at the door, or don't knock on the door, or don't wake the person up. Okay, my question with disturb is, who's the person that most disturb you? Who's the person that most disturb you? Compulsion. Compulsion is when you do something without control, or you don't think before doing something. It's like compulsion. And compulsion is also a disease that can affect you. Okay, so a compulsive person is someone that does something without control. He does in an impulse. All right. So my question with compulsion is, have you ever had a compulsion attack? Have you ever had a compulsion attack? Thank God I've never had that, because I have seen some videos in which people have that, and it's really freaking. Okay, let's go. Disturbance. Disturbance is a synonym for disturb. You have the verb to disturb, and disturbance is a synonym for that. Okay, my question with disturbance, I have no idea what to ask with that. With disturbance, what is disturbance for you? That's my best question. Okay, fighting, as everybody knows, is like when you struggle for something, or just a fight. Okay, a simple fight. And as a synonym for fighting, yeah, you can use struggle, or I think there are others, but there's the one I remember now. Fighting. Oh, I forgot to ask the fighting. Has your mom ever caught you fighting somebody? Has your mom ever caught you fighting somebody? Yes, my mom did that, and then she started fighting me. She slapped me in the face. Now, rampage. Rampage. I'm going to explain rampage. Rampage is like when there are a lot of people in a space, and they are usually we see rampages in strikes. When people go on a strike, there usually there is rampage, or in concerts. For example, all the concerts that I've been to, there were rampages because people were pushing each other. That's what we call rampage, all right? Which in Portuguese, I think we call tumulto. A lot of people together, all right? And then they are like usually pushing each other. My question with rampage is, have you ever been in the middle of a rampage? Have you ever been in the middle of a rampage? Next, confusion. Wow, confusion is something that usually we are in the middle of, okay? When we want, and mostly when we don't want. So confusion is when you don't agree with something and then you start a fighting. My question with confusion is, are you always ready for a confusion, or you usually run away with that? Okay? Or confusion can also be when you don't understand something. When you misunderstand something, is a confusion. You can say, I misunderstood. I made a mistake, or I confused things. Okay? Next, clash. Clash is like, I'm going to explain clash. Oh my god, how do I explain clash? It's like this. Yeah? But it's a synonym for crash. Yes.
It's when something.
My mind's not working.
It's when something goes against
the other thing. Yeah, imagine that you have a wrecking ball and you use this wrecking ball to hit a wall. You're gonna crash the wall, right? So that's what Miley Cyrus did on her clip, Wrecking Ball. Okay? My question with clash is I don't know what to ask. I will start the sentence and then you finish the sentence, alright? I have never clashed da-na-na, and then you finish, okay? Outrage! Wow, outrage. Outrage is a very beautiful word that we used to say, oh my god, I can't believe that. It's like, this is an outrage. This is unbelievable. Okay, so an outrage, it looks like Portuguese. Outrage is when you say, I can't believe that. That's unbelievable. Okay, so that's an outrage, okay? My question with outrage is, what is an outrage for you? What is an outrage for you? For me, it's a lot of things. Okay, now rage. Rage is something that you use when you are furious or when you are very upset or angry, or it's a word that describes you when you are not in a good mood. So that's a rage. When someone annoys you to the point that you can't hold, and then you are like, you get this kind of feeling. All right, so rage. Oh my god, to ask you, when was the last time you felt this feeling, rage? When was the last time? These days I've been having like that frequently. Now, annoyance. Annoyance is the noun that we use when someone is annoying you. All right, so like when someone starts pushing you or pointing at you or talking about you, the person is disturbing you, is annoying you. The noun for this is annoyance. Okay, my question with annoyance is, what's the worst kind of annoyance for you? What's the worst kind of annoyance for you? I don't know, tell me. Fury. Fury is like when you are furious, you feel this kind of feeling, alright? So, what makes you feel furious? Or what makes you feel full of fury? Furious is better. I'm going to test with you. What makes you feel furious? Okay. Next, hatred. Well, hatred is a word that you use. It's the noun that you are going to use for hate. Okay. For example, I hate her, and my hatred for her is very old, long time. So hatred is this kind of feeling, all right? When you hate someone, you feel hatred, all right? For her or for him, whatever. What am I going to ask with hatred is, can you tell me an old hatred you have? Can you tell me an old hatred you have? Next, violence. Well, violence is when you act violent towards someone or something, okay? So violence is never a good way to do something. You have to think twice, 3 times before acting like that. My question is, what's the rate of violence in your city? What's the rate of violence in your city? Is the rate low, medium, very high? In Paraupebas, I think it's medium. Yeah. Next, arson. Arson is when you ignite something, okay? And you want to do that, and that is a crime, okay? So it's an arson. If you just ignite something and this is not a crime, we just say something is on fire. But if you ignite something and this thing doesn't belong to you, or you are doing this in a criminal way, in an illegal way, it's an arson, we call that, okay? So my question is, have you ever been a witness of an arson? Have you ever been a witness of an arson? Suppression. Well, suppression, I already explained to you what the verb suppress is. Now is suppression. Suppression is when you suppress something. It's the noun. Alright, so we have the verb to suppress and we have the noun, suppression. What am I going to ask with suppression? I don't know what to ask with suppression. Eu vou perguntar com supressão. I don't know what to ask. I will start the sentence and then you finish the sentence. It's much better because I'll take 1 hour to think of something. So, alright. Suppression for me is, and then you finish. Alright, your concept. Blow up. Blow up is a phrasal verb for explode. Okay, so you can say that something exploded, or you can say that something blew up. Alright, so my mind sometimes is about to blow up. It's about to explode. Okay, so my question is, I'm going to ask with blow up. Oh, no, I forgot. Have you ever seen a machine blowing up? Have you ever seen a machine blowing up? I have, but it's a while. Okay, next. Tantrum. Tantrum is something bad that kids do when they want to have something. And I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that. For kids tantrum. It's like when they want something, they really want that, and their parents say, no, we will not have that, and then, mommy, I want that, I want that. I feel like they're an angels. We need to educate them. Okay, but you don't need to give everything your kids want. Yeah, you don't need to give what they want. You need to give what they need, what's necessary for them. Okay, my question with this is, how often, my question is, did you used to act with tantrum when you were a kid? Did you used to act with tantrum when you were a kid? Now we have rape. Well, rape is something very serious. It's something very bad as well. And is when you have, it's when you have sex with someone and this person doesn't want to have this with you. So that's a rape. When you touch someone's body, you take off someone's clothes, you have sex with the person without his or her permission. So that's a rape. All right. My question is, what do you think that should happen with people who rape the others? What do you think that should happen with people who rape the others? Do you think they should go to jail for 10 years, 15 years, 100 years, or do you think they should have a little bit more severe punishment? Well, it's up to you. Okay, now shocking. Shocking is something that does this, okay? It's like shocking, this is shocking for me. Or you can say this is a shock for me. So shocking is when something is really, really new to you and it's a surprise. Sometimes it's bad. Yeah, most of the times it's bad. Like, this is a shocking for me. I didn't know that he was doing that to me. Okay? My question is, when was the last time you got shocked? I've got to use shocked here. When was the last time you got shocked and what happened? Tell me, I wanna know. Next, tension. Well, tension, it's a feeling that happens to people before having an interview, before taking a test, before someone says, hey, I really need to talk to you. People get anxious and tension controls their body. My question is, do you always get anxious when you take a test? Do you always get anxious when you take a test, like you feel tension? Next, shock. Shock is like this, okay? When something collides to another thing, or when something is really, really, when something really happens out of nowhere to you, like, I'm shocked, or this is a shock for me. This is gonna be a big shock for her, okay? My question with shock. I don't know. How often do you get? I don't know what to ask.
What shocks you the most?
Yeah, what shocks you the most? What shocks you the most? Me? I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm ready for everything. Not that I'm ready, but I know that everything can happen and nothing can happen. And then sometimes when you pass through a lot of situations, it feels like that you get shocked sometimes, but not that shocked, because you know that people are mean, that they can do everything to you, and no matter how much you trust on them, you know deeply in your heart that they're gonna disappoint you. So you don't feel that shocked. You kind of wait for that. Next, restraint. Restraint is when something is forbidden for you. Alright? So, an example, you can say that, you can see a signal. Restraints, staff only. Alright? So, you cannot enter here unless you work for that company. Okay? So, you can talk about streaming as well. If you don't have a login and a password, that's restraint for you, or depending on the pack you paid. Alright, so restraint. My question with restraint is money always restrained to you? Because for me, yes. I need to get more. Next, threat. Threat is a word that we use to indicate that we are in danger, sorry. So you can say that, let me see, a threat. I don't know, threat is a crime in Brazil, and I think it's in all countries. And that's it. I'm going to ask with because I have threat here and I have threaten. I'm going to ask one question and I'm gonna explain. Okay, so threat is the noun for people that threaten another one. An example: have you ever been threatened by someone. It's like, okay, have you ever been threatened by someone? It means that someone has ever, hey, if you don't do that, I'll kill you and your family, and if you don't give me that, I'll shoot you, or if you don't do that for me, I'll show everybody your naked photos. So that's a threat, alright? That's a threat, and someone has threatened you, okay? So threat is the noun and threaten is the verb, right? Now bullying, as I explained, bullying.
We have a verb, it's blackmail, yes.
Blackmail.
It's blackmail.
Blackmail é quando você quer tirar dinheiro da pessoa porque você sabe algo dela. Como é em português?
Mas pode ser chantageado também, não pode?
É, blackmail é chantagear.
Mas nem sempre por dinheiro, a gente pode tentar querer outra coisa da pessoa se precisar.
Ah, claro. Mas isso daqui que eu dei o exemplo é de ameaçar.
Tipo, sim.
Threaten é ameaçar. Né? Você pode ameaçar, chantagear a pessoa.
Sim, porque geralmente quando você ameaça, você sempre quer algo em troca. Nem sempre, né? Mas
muitas das vezes a ameaça é para querer o silêncio da pessoa. Tá? O chantagear é você usar algo da pessoa contra ela.
É como tu falou,
tipo assim, um segredo teu. Aí eu quero que você me dê R$1 milhão, ou então eu vou, né,
publicar as tuas
fotos peladas. Aí isso é uma chantagem. A ameaça é eu dizer que vou fazer isso. Ou eu fiz algo, você viu e eu não quero que você conte, aí eu vou e te ameaço. Aí nesse caso seria threat. Pra pegar algo em troca, é o threat. O threat, né, que é ameaça. E threaten é o verbo, ameaçar. Aí já o blackmail é chantagear. Ok?
Que é crime, né, isso aí?
Que é crime, ambos são crimes.
Dois são.
Ok. Bullying, as I told you, I already explained the verb bully, but everybody knows what bullying is. What we need to do is just pay attention to what we say, what we do, not what we think. Yeah, sometimes I can't control my thoughts. I think something, and I think, and I think, and I think.
Nobody.
Yeah, and yeah, you can lead your thoughts, but not control. Yeah, you
But
can
I
lead
think when you try to avoid it, it's worse, because
yeah, it keeps you there. But when it's like leading, I can lead my thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I can't. Okay, bullying. My contrast with bullying is I don't know. Do you think bullying is a big problem? I hope you say yes and you say why. Okay? Now intimidation. I already explained to you what intimidate is. Now it's intimidation, the noun, alright? So intimidation for me is blah blah blah. Complete the sentence, okay? Intimidation for me is blah blah blah. I normally don't feel intimidated. I don't know.
You intimidate.
I don't intimidate people. Now Riot. I don't do that. Okay? Not in front of the cameras. I'm kidding. Riot. Well, riot is something bad that happens when people are all together, usually on a strike, and they do this. How do I explain this? How do I say this in Portuguese? Né? Aquele tumulto, mas que é mais confusão, mas é mais que confusão. É um tumulto junto com uma rebelião, isso. What happens usually when people are on a strike?
Prison.
Yeah, when they are in jail, when they are in the prison, it happens a lot. Okay? I think one of the biggest and the worst in Brazil, it was Carandiru. Yes, it's marked in history because a lot of people were killed there?
150 something.
Eles falam, né, que foi uma rebelião, mas
Não,
de acordo
mas
com...
começou tudo com uma rebelião. Tipo,
mas ali...
por conta da questão, porque toda rebelião que começa é sempre questão dos maus tratos e tal, prisão. Então os presos sempre fazem isso em forma de protesto.
Não, mas eu falo da questão em que muitos corpos foram encontrados. Da forma que muitos corpos foram encontrados, não daria pra ser uma rebelião.
Mas não tem como.
Foi mais uma execução.
Não, o que eu falo, tipo, antes da polícia entrar, né? Tava tendo meio que uma rebelião lá, justamente por essa causa, e tipo assim, a polícia entrou e saiu matando.
Não, eu entendo o papel da polícia, né? Em relação a isso, mas de acordo com muitas fotos, estudos e reportagens que eu vi, pareceu mais uma execução do que uma rebelião em si.
Mas foi uma execução mesmo, não.
Pelo jeito que os corpos
foram brutalidade.
Pesado. Ali, vamos lá, só finalizar aqui com a parte com Riot. Não perguntei. Não, mas eu acho que é melhor. Do you agree that Carandiru was the biggest riot in Brazil? Do you agree that Carandiru was the biggest riot in Brazil? If so, tell me why. If not, tell me why. Okay? And now let's just check the verbs, no, the vocabulary. Alright, so here, brutality, cruelty, disturb, compulsion, disturbance, fighting, rampage, confusion, clash, outrage, rage, annoyance, fury, hatred, violence, arson, suppression, blow up, tantrum, rape, shocking, tension, shock, restraint, threat, threaten, bullying, intimidation, riot. 24 or 29 palavras, I think. Okay, so, oh my god, break this. That's our class today. I hope you enjoyed this class. I was a little bit down during the video, but I hope I could have helped you with a better way. Okay, so bye bye, see you.